Hey y'all, it's Angie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sharing how I put together a fall container of flowers. I've had in the past some questions from y'all when I've done my gardening videos, and you've asked how I do this. So since I had some planning to do this past week, I thought that I would make a video and share it with y'all. So I hope you enjoy it. Today for my flowers, I'm using this container that I found at Home Depot. It's a pretty large container, but you can use this process for any size container. You want to make sure that there are drainage holes in whatever you're using. This one has a spot that you just drill out and make your drainage holes. If yours does not have this, just take your drill holes through the bottom of it, or a sharp screwdriver. You just want to make sure there's ample drainage so your flower roots are not sitting in the water. It should look something like this when you finish drilling the holes. Next, I add my water bottles just so that I don't have to use as much potting soil, but you can use anything for this just to take up space and make your pots not so heavy. For this part, you want to use potting mix or potting soil since it's in a container. So just pick out the one that you like the best, and then you just want to pour it on top of your water bottles or whatever you're using as your filler to fill up your container. And this way you won't have to use as much soil and you won't have to buy as many bags, and so that cuts down on cost. Plus, your pot is not as heavy and you can move it on your own when you need to get it out of the cold, or if you just want to move it to a new location. And then I just run my hand through the soil when I add it to the container and just get all the clumps out of it. I don't think this is necessary, but I just like to do this just so it's not all clumpy and it just looks neater and it's easier to work with. So for this part, you need a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. And so in this one, they didn't have a lot to choose from. So I ended up getting this Cabbage because it's upright and I think that it'll really make a statement. And then I'm gonna put these yellow mums in for the filler, and then I'm gonna let my pansies serve as the spiller. You want something that spills out, but in the fall that's kind of hard to find. And I was at Home Depot and they didn't have much. So we're just going to use this and let this be the spiller. These are pansies. So first we want to put our thriller right in the middle. Or you could put it in the back. You could put it anywhere. I just like to put it in the middle. And then you just take these roots at the bottom and you just pull them apart. And plants are stronger than you think, so this is not going to hurt it. It's just going to loosen up those roots, and then you just put it right there in the middle. And I'm going to put these in the front. So these are my fillers. And you could just leave them in the pot and do them this way if you were going to change it out for the next season, but I'm going to go ahead and plant mine. Same thing, you just rough up those roots and then just kind of push it down in the soil. And then this mum, I'm going to do the exact same thing. You take it out of the pot, rough up the roots, and then just stick it down in the, you just really place it down on the soil, and then you'll add more at the end and just get it how you want it. You can move it around, and there's a little lizard. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some more dirt around it. Let me get that right there. So there's the root ball of the plant. And you just want to put that dirt over it. And then if you had this container, if it was up against the wall, you wouldn't really need to worry about anything in the back. But since my container is going to be seen from all sides, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the back with this thing of pansies. And when it's a hanging basket, these just pull right off, and you can take the plant right out, or you can just hang that up. This one's broken, but you could just hang it right up and it would already be ready for you. Same thing, root ball, and you can separate these. So I'm not going to use all of these. So you just pull them apart, and you can put those in another pot. And that does not hurt the plant at all. And since I don't want these to be in one big grouping, I just take them apart and then put them right in the soil. And these will grow up nice and pretty and bloom, and you'll be able to see them peeking over the back. Stick those in there. And in the fall, you can stick a whole bunch of flowers in here because it's cooler and the containers don't use as much, they don't need to be as moist. But in the summertime, you want to watch how many you stick in a container because the containers dry out quicker. And the more plants you have, the more water they take, and make sure you're keeping them well watered. I'm gonna put one more in the back right here. Just gonna stuff it down in there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more soil in there. Then I'm just gonna add some soil around these. And this is the same stuff we used to put in the container before we started. So make sure that you do your water bottles or something in the bottom, because you will use a ton of potting mix. And then these will be so heavy. But since we put in the water bottles, you'll be able to move it around. And these flowers should do well in the frost. But if you were to plant something that didn't tolerate the frost, by putting the water bottles in and not having as much soil, you'd just be able to slide it into your garage by yourself because it's lighter. And then we'll give these some water and then move them into place for the season. I hope that you learned something from that video. If you were wondering how to put your fall containers together, this one was a little different from me since there were not very many flowers at Home Depot to choose from. So maybe in the future I'll do another video, maybe in the spring when I can add more flowers in it and have more of a selection. But I hope that this gave you the general idea of how I go about planning my containers, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you just love this video, or if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them for you. And as always, thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, and you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Our Contented Home. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.